is going on? This is Shango Ray, aka Real Deal Ray, and as promised, we are here to deliver what I like to call affectionately. Me and her, we have this little thing going on. You know what I'm saying? The Muerte messages. Okay, this is basically a Santisma Muerte Ancestral Divination, which is also a part of the. You get this when you get the ultimate Santisma Muerte magic pack. These particular type of ancestral divinations are like special messages for you. Okay, now this is going to be done in a general fashion for the sake of this video. I'm going to go on first and use playing cards, and Borderay will follow with tarot cards, and then we're both going to chime in on one oracle card for you. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into your Santisima Muerte Ancestral Divination message, or as I like to say, just to make it short, a Muerte message. And with the magic of Hollywood, here we go. Shoo. Told you we'd be back. Anyhow, so let's get started. I did like a brief little meditation. And since this is general, I'm going to keep it real concise. You know, obviously, nothing applies to everyone all the time. But if you happen to watch this and you find that Santisima Muerte is definitely speaking to you, or messages through the ancestral realm, because that's a lot of ancestral messages come through obviously Santisima Muerte, or else they're ancestors. That means they died, okay? So keep that in mind. All right. First off, I feel that for you, who this message is for, I feel like you've been dealing with a lot of disappointments, stops, you know. And, oh, by the way, it's brought to you by, well, it's not brought to you by, they ain't paying me. They ain't cutting me no motherfucking check. But this is the deck that we're using, the Dia de los Muertos, by, it doesn't say who. Just playing cards, y'all. Anyways. So yeah, I can definitely see a clear message going on here. And I'm there, she's showing me where you have been and where you're maybe just barely starting to feel like you're coming out of, but actually I'm feeling like you don't feel like you're coming out of it. You feel like this shit's never going to end, or this type of disappointment is never going to end. You know, the beginning something that you thought that you were passionate about, be it a relationship, be it something else, or it's just whatever it is that you managed to find disappointment in. But this is coming up for a reason, because it's very, very important. Okay? Whatever it was that you were striving for, hoping for, praying for, and I hate using the words like hope and pray, because to me, pray, you might as well be saying begging and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I don't beg. I don't know about you, but I don't beg. That's just my personal thing. I know there's different variations of prayer. And, you know, prayer is you, like, talking to the divine, and meditating is the divine talking to you, or however you want to see it. But what I want to tell you right now, well, not me, but what the message that I feel compelled to say is, it's kind of like actually the story of the guy who is digging for oil. And he kept digging and 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 digging. Okay? Much like I'm going to be doing later on tonight. Okay? But seriously, all things serious. Like, he kept digging and digging and digging until finally one day he said, you know what? I'm running out of money. Like, I'm out of money. This shit is just never going to fucking happen. I wasted my whole fucking shizang on trying to find this shit. So he goes, another prospector's in town, and the prospector talks to him. You probably have heard, maybe you've heard the story, you know what I'm saying? And He's like, I'll buy your equipment off you. I'll do all that. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. So the guy was just desperate. He was in his disappointment. Okay. He was living from a state of in his disappointment. He was discouraged. Okay. And I mean, most people can understand why. He ends up selling the equipment off. A week or two later, the guy who bought his equipment makes the news that he fucking struck oil. And to lack a long story, he dug one more foot from where the guy quit. Yep. Had that guy dug one more foot, he would have been a billionaire. That's the story that she conveyed to me that I'm conveying to you. Okay? Now, I'm not saying you're going to be a billionaire necessarily off of whatever this next move or just that keep going thing is. But as it was said to me, your fruits are coming in, okay? 9 of diamonds. And to me, and the way she's showing it to me, it's like she wants you to know that you're that close, okay? I don't know what it is for you. And frankly, I don't care. You know what it is. And that's the most important thing. And like I said, she's saying like, your harvest is not. Your harvest is like right here. You know what I'm saying? But you still have the opportunity to fuck it up by quitting, by listening to your doubt, by believing your doubt, by making moves and decisions based on your doubt, which is actually based on fear. Not this, not your harvest, what you've been putting all these steps and work into, okay? And she wants me to convey to you that you are right where you need to be in this moment. You may not be able to see it from your perspective. A man by the name of Alan Watts was talking about how which perspective is right. You got this perspective, right, that you're looking at. And as you magnify in, you'll start to see little pixels and pigments and stuff. Pretty soon, you magnify close enough, all you're going to see is just some dots. It's not going to look like anything. So which perspective is right? The dots, the one in the middle, or the one that you see as you're farther away, all the dots seem to make this picture on your screen. That's much how our perspective works. She's saying that's how your perspective works also. You can't see all the intricacies around you and your situation and what the hell's going on. But she's saying you definitely are right where you need to be. When you trust in the whole process, whether or not you understand, it does not matter. Matter of fact, okay, thank you. I'll tell them that, okay? She's talking about saying, and it doesn't have to be necessarily to her or to anybody. It could just be to your own divinity. I don't like using terms like the universe and all. It's too vague, you know? But whoever it is that you may ascribe to be a higher version of yourself or a higher power, however you want to say it, God, whatever. She wants you to begin your day by saying, I trust you. I trust you. I trust you. And actually mean the shit. Like, get into your words as you're saying them. Don't just robotically, you know, be taking a shit and then, like, you know, you want to start brushing your teeth. Hopefully you wash your hands first. And, you know, all that stuff while you're getting ready. Oh, yeah, I trust you. I trust you. No, actually just be like, hey, look, you're not turning your face to the side of you that says, hey, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm kind of nervous, okay? That's all right. Yeah, I get that part. But then you're also acknowledging the other side of you that knows the whole get down. And tell that side of you, your real self, that you trust yourself. Or some people don't want to say it like that. Some people want to look at it as God or whatever, okay? I trust you. I want you to say that. I trust you. The key is you got to fucking mean it when you're saying it. And if you have to remind yourself throughout the day Meaning, if you catch yourself getting into some scary shit, start to worrying and all that stuff, just take a quick breath and reset and say, you know what? I trust you. And watch what happens. That's my portion of what I have for you. I'll see you again on the Oracle card. Stay tuned for Baudelaire. Well, I know I'm not Baudelaire, but she has an extreme case of camera fright. So I'm going to go ahead and do the second half with the tarot cards. And then I have the Oracle deck. There's the Santisma Muerte Oracle also. So we'll be doing that also. Okay. I will have Baudelaire do a special Muerte message for you. But it'll be in blog format at this time. Okay. So don't worry about it. Because the reason why also that I had said that it would be typed is because I already knew of this particular issue. Some people have a really big like stage fright, or the number one fear in the world is speaking in front of people. I guess that can also translate into speaking into a camera also. So, but I'm going to keep it moving here, okay? Because that's what we do here. So one way or another, it's going to get done, okay? But I was very shocked at the cards that were pulled because it's almost like she's being redundant, okay? So tarot's not my thing at all, but delivering messages is my fucking thing. So one of my things. So let's get started here with the second half as far as on the tarot tip, okay? And you don't usually see Shango do too much tarot shit, but you're going to see it right now. Anyways, so first off, we had this Page of Wands. And I couldn't help but be reminded to the first half as far as like that disappointment again, you know? Because many of you have had start-stop projects. Like this is, again, to me, once again, reinforcing, and it must be important for you, which is why she keeps bringing it through, okay? Because or else these cards would be about some other shit, but they're not, okay? So many of you, the only thing stopping you is not no outside circumstances. It may appear to be somebody else, but it's not anybody else. It's you, okay? And Santisma wants to reiterate and let you know. What was brought to my mind when I seen these cards, especially this one as far as the first one, is many of you are like waiting for the perfect time. You're waiting for the perfect circumstances. You're waiting for the perfect this, the perfect that. You're waiting for some outside validation when Santisma says, you got to validate your goddamn self. First and foremost, okay? When you're first starting something, don't be surprised if nobody is celebrating and confetti isn't flying down from the sky and shit. Oh, you're going to start your project now. Because really, nobody gives a shit. You got to give a shit. This is your dream. This is your thing. Whether this is some type of business that you've been wanting to start. Maybe you're working on some type of invention. Maybe it's an art project. Maybe it's to begin a particular relationship. And it's there, but you got to kind of like, not possess it, go after it. You know what I'm saying? Take that first step. Like I said, the signs follow the person who puts one foot in front of the other. That's what Shango says. I don't know how the regular saying goes, but the signs will follow when you start putting one foot in front of the other. Okay? You have everything that you need to get yourself to the next level. You're just possibly not being resourceful enough or looking at it from a resourceful place. because you do have a lot of resources. You have your determination. You got your imagination. I'm talking about things that are intangible, not money, because I know most people say, well, I need money for this. Okay, you may need money for that. Okay, I'm not disputing that. However, once you start doing what you can do with what you have right now, even the smallest steps, you're going to begin to enact this weird cosmic magnetism. And that magnetism is going to bring people, the resources, and whatever else you need. Okay? Now, in similar fashion, even though it's not a 9 of diamonds because we're not using playing cards here, but you have a 3 of wands. Yeah. A 3 of wands, okay? So, as you start to get to going, what to me this is representing, the 3 of wands, I see a pyramid of wands, okay? So in Shango speak, that means you start to manifest intuitive downloads. I mean, crazy synchronistic things are about to start for you if you just heed these words and kind of put them to effect in your own way, of course, you know. Not only that, but you're also going to attract, she's saying, the right information. And she wants me to reiterate also something that I have said in the past. You don't have to have the whole picture in front of you, okay? Like a puzzle. It's just, you just go piece by piece. And that's all you can do anyways. And I guess there must be a lot of you who are like on that edge. And I can see Santisma's skeletal foot making contact with your ass as she's kicking you off the edge into the abyss of the unknown. But that's where all your shit is at, is in the unknown. Okay, now it's telling me my battery is running low, but I'm not. So we're going to push it until we finish this, all right? But the outcome of this whole thing, where am I getting at? In the sunshine, everybody loves the sunshine. You see the mariachis? Yeah. Your day in the sun is there. Your day in the sun is right there, okay? You can have your day in the sun as you're working towards what you want, as you're taking a step. I'm going to tell you what, one of the greatest things that makes people happy is not getting where they want to be. It's just knowing that they're on the road to that. As long as they feel like they're making progress of some kind, of any kind, even if it's small, even if it's minuscule, so fucking what? And you can give that to yourself. She's saying you got to help yourself. Many of you, she's almost going in some chastise mode right now. She's saying, you're not giving yourself enough credit. You haven't been giving yourself enough credit. Because you have what it takes. You keep thinking you need all this other help. Oh, what this and that. Or you're waiting till this or that. You're going to be waiting till you're an old fucking lady. Or an old man. Or an old gender neutral. Whatever the fuck. Okay? But that's going to be you. Sitting there fucking waiting. Dust on your clit and lips or balls. Okay? That's what it is if you don't. But you have everything here. So yeah, she might talk a little shit. And if you do work with Santisma, you know she talks some shit. Everybody that I know or anyone that I've seen that has worked with her knows that she does talk some shit. But it's all talking shit with love. You know, it depends on which Santisma you get. Because she's got all kinds of different sides, just like you do. But your day in the sun is there. Your trajectory is there. But if you stop, if you let your doubts just bend you over, and you let your doubts just stick it in with no KY or anything, then you're just going to be a part of somebody else's plan. You're either going to plan your own shit or you're going to be a part of somebody else's plan. And I shudder at the notion that you would allow yourself to be just somebody's pawn in somebody else's shit instead of taking the reins and doing your own shit, which is why you even have this on your heart in the first place. Why this is such a big deal for you in the first place, because you really want it. But there's only one person, there's only one God, goddess, person, entity that can give it to you. And that's you. And not me, not Buddha, not anybody else, not Jesus, not Allah, Buddha. None of these motherfuckers are going to give it to you. You got to give it to yourself. And you're way more capable than you ever even thought when it comes to that. So, just a rewind. She's saying, just put that one foot in front of the other. Don't even worry about the third step or the fourth step. Just this one right here. Can you do that? Yes, you can. Will you do it? That's up to you. Oracle card time. Go ahead and just shoot some cosmic juju up on that, all right? Some cosmic goddess nectar juju, all right? And here we go. Wait, is it? What? And I definitely don't fuck with oracle cards, but I'm gonna show you a thing or two, right? It's not about the card. It's not about what kind of cards, bones, dice, tea leaves. I gotta look at this picture actually first, because you gotta. This is the oracle card. I don't even know what it is, but I'll tell you what. I'm gonna cheat just a little bit. But before I cheat, I'm gonna tell you my spin. But then I'm gonna go into just what the standard recipe of the Santa Muerte oracle card deck is, and they have usually an advice from the dead or whatever. I'll throw that in there too, but let's see what she's talking about. Yeah. So here's the oracle card. Oh, my lighting is much better on the camera. Yeah, man. So you see the goddess of the underworld, okay? And she's next to an altar. Looks like some type of ancestral altar or something like that. And they're by this big temple over here, okay? And of course, the pieces of wood, all right? Now, out of what died, this is what's coming to me out of this. Let me see. Yeah, definitely an ancestral altar. You are actually one of the fruits of that which died. Your ancestors, okay? Now, I know that you guys know this. There's a lot of ancestor talk right now, especially because this is the time for that. And we're heading up to All Souls Day, All Saints Day, Dia de los Muertos. So if you really need that extra push also, she's also letting you know. In your ancestral lineage, I did a post on Instagram like a little while ago, about if you just went back how many generations, how many ancestors that would include. You know, you have probably everything in your ancestral lineage, from serial killers to genius to someone who was a millionaire or someone who was rich for wherever they were at. You know, these are all in your DNA. These are all in your DNA. But just like the money in the bank, let's say you had all the money in the bank, but you just don't use your bank card. You're out on the street, you're cold, you're hungry, your pants smell like piss. You could have easily rented somewhere to stay, got some food. But it's what you do and what you don't do. This oracle card to me is talking about, when we talk about resources, you also have so many more resources in the unseen realm. Okay? Please tap in to that. Because you know what? When you heal yourself, you're also doing them a solid. And many of you are being called to break the cycles of generational poverty, of being a slave to some occupation or job that you hate, because so many of your ancestors just, they didn't know any better. They did what they did because they had to survive. You have a different option. And that's what's coming through here. So let's check what the 31 is all about. Let me see here. Celebration. Okay, celebration is in close contact with the memory card. When we're just talking about what's in your what's in your DNA, that's memory. Memories are stored in your DNA. All your ancestral, all that big ass database is stored in your DNA. And it incites us to celebrate life and deserved results. And it incites us to celebrate life and deserved results we obtain, which belong to us as much as they belong to those who came before us. Oh, I'm good, man. I'm good. Our ancestors and the people with whom we collaborate, as expressed by the fraternity card, as the tree that renews its leaves but keeps its roots, we must always have the courage to renew our ideas while maintaining the principles that have guided us and that were passed on by our ancestors. I told you. And no, I didn't study this shit. I think I've used this card one time and I just read it out the book. I didn't even. So the advice of the dead. Oh, you want to hear some synchronicity? And if you think I'm lying, I'm going to show you what it says. Take action while constantly bearing the past in mind. Learning. Okay, don't judge the past, but learn from it and keep it moving. Don't get stuck without being afraid of having to change your ideas, even drastically. So if you got to change your ideas, some of you, this message is referring to, it's not the what. The what shall remain the same, but how you get to the what. There's a billion different ways. Don't be afraid to change and be fluid. Adapt. Let me show you right here where it's backwards here on this camera. It says, I hope you can read backwards. Take action while continuously bearing the past in mind. So with that, I'm going to use a quote from one of our dear fam, Tawanda Vance. I bid you adieu. Okay. Namaste. All right. And all that good shit. And we will see you on Thursday, because I'll be doing some Muerte messages live and direct just for you. All right. So peace and blessings to you. Infernal blessings all over. All right.